Hey, I'm Eric Guerci. I am the 2015 to 2016 student member of the board. Well, this last year we've just made tremendous progress as a student body, as a Board of Education, as a system, and that's why it's so important to keep moving forward. You know, the most important function of any Board of Education, of any board in general, is to select a top executive. And in a time of turmoil where there were a lot of moving pieces for our student body, for our system, for MCPS, we got us on a track of stability towards the future. We hired a new superintendent. That was one big piece that we had to tackle going into this job. We also brought light to the achievement gap, which is a stain on a record of excellence here in MCPS. And we also tackled things that had been in the backseat for too long, like exams and testing in our system. We set the stage to start a task force for homework that's going into effect next year. And we also did things like finally bring the issue of middle school cell phone rights to the board and to the table, which is an issue which had been promised for a long time now, but we hadn't actually gotten into the weeds and accomplished that task. One more thing which was a huge victory for all of our students was the SMOB voting rights bill, which we passed over spring break, and for over 39 years we've been trying to pass this bill, and this year we finally got it through, and I'm extremely proud of this accomplishment to set the stage for SMOBs of future generations to make a real impact for students. Well, being the SMOB is not a one-person job. It takes relationships with county council members, with your colleagues on the board. You know, the Board of Education is an 8-body board, so the SMOB is not an executive who has the power to do things themselves. They need relationships with everybody else. With the administration of MCPS, you can help work on things behind the scenes, and those are the types of relationships that I've been able to cultivate this year. And it's really hard to get through that initial phase of being on the board, and that's why we can't step back now. We have to keep moving forward with those sorts of initiatives. You know, and I've proved that we haven't just talked about the issues, that we've been able to make a real impact on some of the issues that are central to student life throughout the county. So I thought that we finally needed to take a step back and say, let's look at how we're doing things, because the way that we're doing things right now with our testing structure is not yielding the results that we want it to. And students are overburdened with stress, students are overburdened with testing, so let's do something about it. So the model that we adopted has set the stage for the entire state of Maryland to adopt a new testing model. Counties from all over the state are saying, let's look at what Montgomery County did, and other districts are saying, we need to start doing things differently too. So I think that this was really a precedent of what we've done in Montgomery County, and I think that we should be proud of it, and going forward it's really going to be able to alleviate the testing burden and make testing less of an event and more of a learning activity that we can utilize to our advantage. Now, what I'm working on currently is tackling a grading system that's student friendly. So that means a grading system where if you go A, B in a class with those marking period exams, then you get an A, or you go BA, then you get an A, or if you go BC or CB, then you get a B in that class. So that's what the current struggle that I'm working with students across our county on right now is. Always on behalf of the students is how I make decisions. Listening to the students, going out into the community, getting feedback, hearing what's best for students, hearing what's on other people's minds, and then translating that to the position that I'm fortunate enough to be entrusted on here on the Board of Education.
Can you say a few, or?
Yeah, well, I think that if we're able to get, in a perfect world, if we could have the perfect amount of money in our school system budget, then a lot of other issues ranging from closing the achievement gap to increasing school lunches to rebuilding schools that are old and uncomfortable would be solved in our county. Well, I think that I've shown what I've been able to do this year, and I hope that that will earn the trust of many other voters for next year, many other students, and I just really care about the work that I do. I'm honored to have been able to serve as the SMOB this year, and it's really important for not just this generation, but we're going to face a clear choice in this election, and our fight is one to empower our peers to continue to move forward and to keep working together. So that's what I'm fighting for every single day.
All right.